Man, we had it rough in the past. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 hardest classic video games to beat. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at those classic games that were challenging, frustrating, seemingly impossible, but still enjoyable enough to make you want to persist, despite how much they made you want to throw your console against the wall. Number 10, The Adventures of Bayou Billy. A character raised by alligators has got to be tough as nails, right? Well, in Bayou Billy's case, no. Bayou Billy features multiple gameplay styles. It shifts from a beat-em-up to a rail shooter to a diving game, all of which are equally as hard. Regular enemies have as much health as the titular character. One of them can easily kill you, so when you have to face 3 at once, say your prayers. If you move into attack, you're almost guaranteed to get hit back, as enemies flinch for only a microsecond. You also have to face gunmen and other animals. Alligators, my old friends. Oh, you're trying to kill me too, eh? Great. Number 9, Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight. Released 2 decades before the game's story is set, Street Fighter 2010 envisioned a future in which interplanetary travel was as easy as walking through a gate. This spin-off to the legendary fighting franchise plays a bit like Mega Man, only its controls and enemies are mind-numbingly frustrating to get past. Most of the enemies fly around, making them hard to hit. Almost everything static in the game can be climbed on, making it impossible to dodge basically anything, as the character just sticks to a ledge. For this game, learning enemy patterns is key, as there is only a finite amount of time to complete the levels. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A game marketed for kids should not be this difficult. Some parts are literally impossible to get through unless you play as a specific turtle, and we all know it's Mikey all the way, bro. Hitboxes are all over the place, and when there's a platforming section, you just know you're gonna mess it up your first time. Pizza replenishes your health, as it does of course in the TMNT world, but they're placed almost sadistically in the hardest to reach areas, making it a death trap to even try to get your health back. The thing is, you can't even memorize enemy types and attack patterns because they change regularly too. Hey, at least the gameplay never gets stale that way. Number 7, Contra Hardcore. The original Japanese version of this game was difficult enough, but the international versions just wanted us to suffer, reducing the amount of continues you had to 5 from the Japanese amount of infinite, and getting rid of the health bar in favor of one-hit kills. Made for one frustrating experience, I can tell you that much. How are we supposed to dodge a dozen enemies, all firing at us at the same time without getting hit? It's basically madness. Number 6, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Yes, as much as we'd like to forget, there was a 2D side-scrolling Zelda game. It wasn't so much that it was bad, it was just different. And we can all basically agree that the series works much better in third person or a top-down perspective. But anyway, the second entry in the series not only changed perspective, but amped up the difficulty to boot. The game is incredibly cryptic in where you have to go or how to get there. I mean, we don't understand how anyone could know what to do without using a walkthrough. There is also a huge difficulty spike very early in the game that forces you to grind for XP for hours just to get through it. Curse you, Death Mountain! Number 5, Silver Surfer. There are so many ways you can die in this game, we don't know where to begin. Based off the comic book character, but with none of the strength and endurance, Silver Surfer has a couple of different gameplay styles, and none of them are a walk in the park. For starters, you're always moving, and anything that touches you results in instant death. And we're not just talking about enemy projectiles here. So, managing to avoid enemy fire and any obstacles, you have to still fire back. Only your enemies have a lot more health than you do. How is that even fair? Number 4, Takeshi's Challenge. Being being scolded by your boss, yelled at by your wife, wandering around aimlessly trying to figure out what your purpose in life is? Yeah, man, life is hard. I mean, Takeshi's challenge is hard. Yeah, that's what we meant. No, seriously, this game is really ridiculous. There are no checkpoints, and there's no direction. Plus, things you don't do or you do wrong will forbid you from beating the game, which won't become apparent to you until you've played for another hour. With dozens of choices and only one right one, it's impossible to beat it unless you've played like 50 times. With mature themes, real consequences, and no shortage of absurdity, it really is just like real life. Totally unfair and will probably crush you by the end. Number 3, Punch-Out, aka Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. In its defense, this game knows it's hard. That's why it has a code that takes you straight to the final fight against Iron Mike Tyson himself. Just looking at him walking up to you in the ring is terrifying. He's 3 times as big as you and capable of knocking you out with one punch, while it'll take a lot of punches from you to bring him down. There are virtually no prompts for when he's about to attack, so your only chance is to dodge randomly and hope you've timed it right. Even Mike Tyson himself can't even beat Mike Tyson.
TKO the winner, Mike Tyson!
Number 2, Ghouls and Ghosts. Not only facing hordes of horrific monsters, players have to fight their own inner fears, because this game was quite frightening for kids when it was released. Enemies are hard to kill, and one hit from them gets rid of all your armor, with the following hit completely killing you. It'll take you weeks of practice just to get through one level. Finally, you get to the end and you realize it's not really the real ending, and you have to do it all again and pick up a particular item to get the true ending. Talk about a cruel joke. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Battletoads. The pinnacle of difficult classics, Battletoads will leave your hands trembling as you ask yourself why you're even playing this nightmare. Don't get us wrong, it's kind of a blast to play, but it's incredibly hard to beat on your own, forcing you to play with a friend. I mean, after you realize you actually can play with a friend, as there's no mention or hint about it in the menus. Actually, the game might even become harder if you do play with a friend, as you can hit and kill each other by accident. Your health bars are separate, but when one of you dies, it's game over, so good luck. Hey, at least that pause music is kinda catchy, right? Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.